Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to help you get well-informed fast. Today, we're digging into the Engineering Leadership Playbook by Raphael Neves. Our mission, really, is to unpack what truly makes an effective engineering leader. It's about moving way beyond just the tech skills, right? It's about guiding and inspiring your teams. So let's dive in.
Okay, first point Neves makes is leadership really hangs on authenticity and action. It's not just talk. It's about actually living the values you promote.
Yeah, absolutely. For an engineering leader, this means, your team actually sees you showing integrity, maybe fostering a strong work ethic.
And being consistent, matching words with action.
Exactly. It's this idea of role modeling he talks about. You become this sort of living, breathing example of what you're advocating for. I mean, think about it. If you tell your team, no technical debt, but then you're always pushing for quick hacks yourself. That mismatch, it sends a really loud, damaging message.
Yeah.
Much louder than any town hall speech about code quality. Oh, totally. And the playbook highlights this perfectly. Like leaders who talk up work-life balance but then blast emails at midnight.
Yeah.
That just breeds cynicism, doesn't it? Chips away at trust.
It really does.
So authenticity is key. It really amplifies your impact when you genuinely embody those behaviors. It kind of makes you stop and think, what blueprint are you actually drawing for your team with your day-to-day actions?
That's a great question to reflect on.
So, okay, beyond just living the values, the book then zeroes in on how you handle emotions, yours and others, which, let's face it, is so critical in engineering with constant change and, high stakes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Which brings us neatly to emotional intelligence, or EQ.
Right, EQ.
Yeah, the playbook frames EQ as your ability to understand and manage your own emotions effectively, and also to recognize and influence the emotions swirling around you in your team. It's just pivotal for relieving stress, communicating clearly, having empathy, creating that collaborative vibe where people feel understood and valued. The key parts are things like self-awareness, knowing your triggers under pressure, self-regulation, managing how you react, motivation, staying driven, empathy, really getting your team's perspective, like the stress of a deadline.
And social skills, right, building those relationships.
Exactly. Those social skills are crucial.
Okay, let's paint a picture. High-stakes scenario. Your software team finds a massive bug right before a huge launch. Pressure's on. Stakeholders are getting anxious.
Right. Okay, so a leader who's maybe lacking in self-regulation, they might get overwhelmed, anxious, maybe make rash calls, or worse, start pointing fingers.
Yeah, the blame game.
Exactly. And Nez calls that panic and blame. It just digs the hole deeper, right? It deepens the crisis. But a leader with strong self-awareness, they feel that stress, that urge to react, but they recognize it. They, hit the mental pause button.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. Gather thoughts, and then move forward strategically.
Right.
It's like your gut reaction might be to lash out, but EQ gives you that vital pause to ask, okay, how do we solve this together?
That's a huge difference, a real game changer.
It is.
How would you, listening now, typically react in that kind of pressure cooker? It's worth thinking about.
Definitely.
So managing emotions isn't just about making better decisions, it's about modeling resilience for the whole team.
Precisely.
Which underlines why EQ is just crucial to effective communication, a productive work environment, and a team-oriented culture.
Couldn't agree more.
And speaking of growth and improvement, that takes us nicely into the next big idea.
Indeed it does. The final principle we wanted to unpack is this power of having a growth mindset.
Yeah.
This idea, popularized by Carol Dweck, the psychologist.
Right, the fixed versus growth mindset.
Exactly. It's believing your potential isn't set in stone. Challenges are just chances to learn, to adapt. But what's really insightful for leaders, especially in tech, is this concept of unlearning.
Unlearning.
Oh, yeah. Naves calls it a kind of strategic decluttering. Think of your mind like a closet stuffed with summer clothes when winter's coming. You got to make space for the new stuff, the winter gear, new tools, new ideas.
Okay, I like that analogy. Strategic decluttering.
It really makes you ask yourself, what old assumption or maybe ingrained practice do you need to consciously clear out?
That resonates. You see engineering leaders clinging to old frameworks or tools sometimes, even when better ones exist.
For sure.
And Naves gives specific examples of things to unlearn, like the urge to jump in and fix the code yourself, even if it's faster short-term, instead of empowering your team.
That's a big one. Or believing you always have to be the hero, have all the answers.
Or needing to control every tiny detail, micromanaging.
Right. Sometimes the strongest thing is to admit, you know what? I don't know yet. Let's figure it out.
It's okay not to know.
It absolutely is. And this highlights that real growth isn't just about learning new things. It's also about looking back, assessing where you are, what worked, what didn't. It's about valuing the process over the outcome, really appreciating the lessons from the climb, not just getting to the summit.
The climb, not just the summit. I like that.
Okay.
So, okay, we've covered leading by example with authenticity, the absolute necessity of emotional intelligence, especially under pressure,
Yeah.
and embracing that growth mindset, including the courage to unlearn. These aren't just theories, right? They're practical guides for that ongoing journey of leadership.
They really are. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think of leadership like mastering an instrument.
Yeah.
It really demands patience, lots of practice, and a real passion.
Yeah.
So may the notes you play resonate, inspire, and hopefully lead to symphonies of success and innovation.
That's a really powerful metaphor, mastering an instrument. We definitely encourage you to continue your own deep dive into these ideas and think about how you can apply them on your own leadership path.